Okay.
I guess it takes a second to snap into place, right?
Right. Dude, do you see that?
I see it. Did you just get it?
It's no, I've had it for I want to say 75 years. Um, it's useless, man. I mean, it's really hard. You have to like to be able to do anything productive with it, you have to assign, you have to MIDI assign all, you have to MIDI map it. It's tough. There's probably a program that makes it easier or something.
Oh, hey, you got really quiet. Did I get quiet too?
No.
I mean, you started off like at a regular volume, but then something happened and it just like went down here.
I got you clear as bell.
Wow, man.
I bet it's wait, oh, I've got a set professional audio in audio settings. Okay. All right. Yeah, no, I can hear you fine.
Okay, you seem a little better. Did you make an adjustment?
No.
Okay, well, whatever. I don't know. Oh man, you, my friend, points to the mic. Yeah, you ambushed me the other day. You remember that?
With
You ambushed me. You sent me a link, a Bill Evans link.
Oh, yeah, of
And
course, of course,
and
of
I mean,
course.
and of course you knew that well, I don't know. I mean, maybe it just didn't have a chance to follow up and it was all innocent. But I mean, of course, then you called me and after I'd already like uh texted some derogatory things about it and and then
Yeah,
then
yeah,
then it was
yeah.
like surprise, we're on three-way with Clint Strong, who loves that
Yeah.
song.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I
So,
did
and
that. I did
it's like,
that.
and he already, I guess, did you show him like what I'd written, or did you read it to him or something, or what?
It all happened in real time. Like, as uh I mean, I guess I could look it up and reference it, but I just remember after the Bill Evans thing happened with Eddie Gomez,
Wait, what's
um
the song? What's the song first of all?
up with a lark,
Oh, okay, that's right. Up with the Lark, man.
right?
Well,
Let me, I'm gonna
well, hang on, because I mean, this is the beginning of a chain reaction here. Okay, so I just want to talk about what the not the music and stuff just yet, but what like okay, so and then all of a sudden, so I'm on the phone and you're like, hey, hey Nathan, so you didn't like that Bill Evans link? And I was like, nope. And then it's like, hey, hey, this is hello, Mr. Nathan. This is Clint Strong. I'm on, and I'm like, oh, what? Oh, okay. Hey, Clint, what's going on? He goes, so you don't like that? You don't like that song, huh? And I'm like, no, I don't. Well, it's very good to talk to you today, and very good to meet you, sir. But I like that song a lot. I like that song quite a bit. And I was like, okay, well, yeah. And he's like, well, why don't you like it? And I'm like, and I'm thinking, well, and of course, just to say again, Clint Strong is an amazing guitarist. I mean, whether he's playing jazz or whatever, he's just a spectacle to hear and see. You know, I mean, he sounds great. But um, so I'm thinking to myself, like, I mean, do I just say, well, because I don't like listening to white people, but I mean, I'm not gonna. But it's like, oh, but he's, and it's like he's in a hospital bed. You're at the hospital with him, where he's, laid up and disabled due to a stroke, right?
correct,
Yeah, he doesn't
correct.
have use of his left side or the left side, right? Left
Uh,
side, right?
yeah, correct.
Okay. Yeah, it's like, am I going to just start, just making this guy, whatever, feel bad? in the hospital bed or whatever. So, I tried to, pivot what I was saying and, compliment his guitar playing for what it is and everything like that. But what happened though, so we kind of got out of that conversation. It was fine. But so yeah, now you got me though. I mean, if there's any tone of like I'm gonna set this up and see what happened, you got me there for a second, had me going. Um then the next day I it was time for my bank routine, which is of course yeah,
Get
so I
a
have to
burger.
deposit my paycheck. So I go to my bank, deposit the paycheck, and I'm like really excited. It's 9:25, time for an Impossible Whopper from Burger King, a delicious Impossible
Right.
Whopper.
Right.
Go over there and get it. And man, I mean, it just it couldn't have been better. It could not have been better. I got it, and it was like $4 less than what it usually is at the Burger King near my house. Yeah, it was
Why?
four. So I got a
Why?
Diet Coke, uh, well done small fries, and an Impossible Whopper for it was like 4.75.
Impossible.
Not at
Oh,
this location.
okay.
Anyway,
How?
so I'm sitting in the car. I'm just like eating it and just like really enjoying this. It's 9:30 in the morning. I'm enjoying this stuff, and then the next hop in my routine is right next door is the Savers thrift store where I like to go and just see because I guess there's a lot of people dying or donations or something, and every week there's always new CDs there, and so I want to get something to listen to in the car, and I always end up finding like one or two things, depending, um, and actually a lot of jazz stuff ends up there. So I go in and go and it's like, and I'm approaching the CD area and I see that there's more stuff in there, and it really sucks about them is that they're like trying to be conscious in like a record store kind of way where they're like trying to foil people who come in, and try to hide CDs and stuff. They'll like just like start rearranging, you know, the ones that have been there for a while and mix in the new ones, like just start mixing them all in. So you can't, it's not like just, I mean, you would expect at a thrift store, they would just like shove them all at the bottom end, and you'd be like, okay, they're the new ones. I don't have to go through all these fucking,
Right.
other ones have Andrea Bocelli or whatever. Um, uh, yeah, Kenny G, Miracles. Who I love Kenny G, but I don't want his holiday album Miracles. There's like 4 copies in there. Anyway, I start going through there. Finally, I get halfway through, and I was like, oh man, no fucking way.
Okay.
Bill
Okay.
Evans live at Montreux with fucking Eddie
Okay.
Gomez and Jack DeJohnette. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This is props of my life. Like the perfect terrible thing that I fucking hate. Props of my life. Right at this is the only one I found that I was I mean, I was interested in buying it because I knew I was gonna hate it, and I was like, oh man, it's just like a buck, and so I got it. Oh man, I mean, this thing 1968 live at Montreux. Um, okay, so I get in the car and I'm like, I put it in, and
Chef kiss to you, buddy.
man, I mean, put it in, and immediately it's just like that bullshit. I mean, just the fucking, I mean, it just seems like, I mean, it's fucking dinner jazz. It's fucking dinner jazz, and everybody's just skittering around. They're just fucking skittering around, and he's just like, I mean, oh my god, I fucking hate his playing. I read somewhere it said that he's like the most influential pianist of the '60s. I think it's on his Wikipedia page. I looked it up because I was just so angry. Enjoying my anger though. Yeah, most influential pianist of the '60s. And I'm like, I mean, it's just like, and I'm like, I'm gonna listen to this more than I usually do, which is just kind of skipping around and just getting pissed and like, yeah, I don't want to listen to this shit. So I listened to it and just his fucking block chords. I mean, I don't, okay, you know what? I'm not even gonna start with him. Let's start with Eddie Gomez.
Hold on. Hold
Dude,
on.
dude,
Hold on. Hold
I
on one
don't,
second.
okay, what? I don't want to
Okay,
fucking hold on.
hold on. I want you to read the track, the
Track listing.
tune
Okay.
listing. Yeah, yeah.
All right. It's like, I mean, it might as well be just a stupid ECM thing. It's Verve, but I mean, it's like, I'm having a hard time reading. It's like the font is so light. It's like such a light font, tiny font on this, teal. Okay, intro, spoken intro, one for Helen, asleep in B, mother of Earl, Nardis, quiet now, I loves you, Porgy, a touch of your lips, embraceable you, someday my prince will come walking up. I haven't listened past Nardis, which is the fifth track. I mean, I just, there's too much bad stuff happening, before that. Um, they're all of them are just I just call it skittering and flittering. It's just like there's no swinging. It's just skittering and flittering. It's just like just kind of like just and all right. So Eddie Gomez, Eddie Gomez. It's like so, dude. Tune your bass up a quarter step so that where you naturally play, it's going to be in tune. Oh, but he's a fucking genius. He's such a fucking genius for playing out of tune. He's chorusing the music, the harmony. It's a chorus effect. It's like we needed something different. We needed a hero to just come in and just fucking play everything a quarter step out of tune. Are you there?
Okay, okay.
Are
Yeah,
you?
am I here?
No,
Yes.
I'm just saying. Okay, so let me describe his bass tone to you. Okay, it's about 40% this like you have a glass jar, you got a ring on your finger. Can you hear that?
Okay.
Can you
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. I got it. I
You
got
hear
it.
that? Do you hear that?
I got it. I got
That's
it.
40% of his bass sound. Maybe 35. Okay, let's be generous. Generous toward him. 35%. Everything. The 35. Now 35% is just a thonk. Thunk, thunk, thunk. You know. Thunk, 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 thunk.
Nathan,
What?
Nathan, stop, stop. You're being generous. I mean, are you saying you can feel it? You can a thunk is something you can feel.
And the other, yeah. No, I mean, I'm talking about, okay, I'm being generous for when he's playing in the lower register. All right.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
An
you're right.
occasional an
Because
occasional accidental thunk is what you're saying,
no,
right?
I'm just saying, no, I mean,
Unintended.
no, I'm saying I'm listening to it and it's like, I'm just hearing, and it's like sometimes when he's not, slapping the glass with his ring,
Right.
I'm hearing, I don't hear any note. I don't hear any tink. I just hear boom, 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 boom. And it's like boom, 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 boom. That's but I mean I'm adding too much tone to it already. And then the rest, you're like 20 to 30% is out of tune note, which is like but yeah, when he's playing up higher, it's like a baritone saxophone. I mean, it's more closer to baritone sax than it is the bass. I mean, and so it's like it's like I mean,
Okay, okay. Well, because you're on a roll with this, I mean, I want you to talk about what we talked about the other day, which is the conclusion that maybe, as we called him, Ray Gomez and
who's a
and
guitarist, by the way? I
and,
somehow saw something. I watched a video and it was like Ray Gomez on guitar.
and Patitucci, like what, like getting together and saying, "Hey, man, like what can we do to make sure that they, hear a distinct you and me on an album?" Well, it's a quarter tone, it's a quarter step intonation technique. We're going to approach it like this. It's so that quarter tone is going to resonate. It's gonna you're going to get an earworm.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh
that's the
man.
facility
Yeah.
that's the facilitator. Like,
God. I mean,
okay, And the point by saying all that is to get the listener to say, I'm listening. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
okay, I'm
And
listening
yeah,
now.
it's too fucking bad that those so many of those listeners were great jazz musicians, that just like, that, I mean, people that you want to hear that just like somehow bought into that bullshit. I mean, like, take I was playing you that that the original Humpty Dumpty recording,
Yeah,
Chick Corea,
yeah.
which sounds great, except for the fucking out-of-tune bass that Eddie Gomez is just laying all over the place. I mean, unfortunately, it's Steve Gadd and Joe Farrell. I mean, and Chick Corea sounds so good, and the tune itself is just so fucking good that um, it's. I mean, it's like he's trying to channel Wayne Shorter. I mean, so it's just. I mean, it's great. You can get past what Eddie Gomez is doing, but I mean, Jesus Christ.
Man, yeah, and I mean, I just on that subject, I'll say again, like Steve Gadd's uh doubles or diddles, if you will, Steve Gadd's diddles. I mean, I could live on a pillow of those. It's it's
Man. Yeah.
it's real comfortable. But I mean, I guess the question is, would that have happened with a different bass player? That you can that's an honest question that could be asked without Steve Gadd getting obviously mad. He's upset.
Yeah.
I
Good
mean,
for
he's
him. I hope
upset.
so. God
He
damn, I hope he is.
and Eddie gets a diddle punishment is what's going on. I
Oh
mean, I
man,
think
you're saying that he's being the bass player.
well, yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody has to do it.
Yeah. You're
I mean,
right. Yeah,
somebody's
because
got
that
to do
fucking
it. So,
baritone sax that Eddie Gomez, upright baritone sax with strings is.
I mean,
Christ.
I feel like I've had this talk with so many people, and no one seems to get it. Like Eddie Gomez deserves to be checked out, and then it's okay. I mean, I just want to say it's okay. It's okay that other people, you know, find something in there to latch on to. Because those other people that find the thing to latch onto, I like those people.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And
It goes. That's a sound, you know, theory. I mean,
it's
sure.
exactly the same to
I
me
mean,
as
I hate the Beatles, but I mean, it's like
that's what I was gonna say, dude.
yeah, but I
That's what
mean,
I was
it's
gonna
like
say. I
how many
hate the Beatles, but
interviews of people that you love do you watch, and they're like, oh man, when the Beatles came out, it was just like game over, game changer, and you're like, oh,
are
well,
you
I mean,
talking
yeah.
about Brad? Are you talking about Brad Meldau by chance?
No, actually, I was talking about
This-
David specifically. I was envisioning David Foster. Like I was watching a David Foster interview. Who I just love David Foster. I mean, his production, playing ideas. I mean, I just love that guy. But I was reading or watching an interview or something, and he was just he was just like so just nostalgic and happy about the Beatles. And I'm like, well, I mean, great. You made lemonade out of those fucking four lemons. Squeezed
well,
fucking four lemons.
I have something to say about David Foster, as of kind of lately. Man, he took Dirty Loops, which was kind of cool. It was like whatever
Oh yeah, man.
Swedish
Yeah, the Swedish AI chord band. Yeah,
S-
and they're
Swedish AI Stevie Wonder band.
uh,
But he set he got his sights on them, and then he got he got his grubbies in there, and re- made it he made it worse. I mean, he made it
oh,
worse
how could he make that worse? I mean, it's so weird. Bands like that. It's like I guess
by claiming it like I did this, I did
I had
this.
no
I'm going
idea. I
to
didn't know I haven't kept up with him in recent years. So I didn't. I mean, the most recent things I've heard about it is just, my wife talking about his, him and his wife being on, Real Housewives of whatever, Orange County or Hollywood or
Oh,
whatever,
really?
Beverly Hills or whatever.
Okay.
They've had some drama, I guess, in the last 10 years. So, that's all really I've heard about him. But uh, I mean, yeah, Dirty Loops, I mean, they're kind of like, Lewis Cole and I mean, Lewis Cole solo. I mean, just where
Oh,
it's just
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
Snarky Puppy. I mean, it's just like that kind of stuff, just all, it's just too, it's just too stupid. It's like you've taken everything good about harmony, about dense, complex harmony and melody, and just made the worst fucking bastard product that I mean, you just bastardized everything and
Well,
stripped everything. Go
I
ahead.
mean, there's a missing element, there's a, there's an element
Yes. Yes.
that, that just everything else is, you can't say anything but good, great, clean, theory and technique stuff.
Yeah.
But
So
oh
with
yeah,
Lewis
but
Cole, it was what's her name? Oh, I forgot her name. Who's the girl that he was
yeah,
with for
I don't,
Knower?
yeah, I don't know her name.
Jesus,
I don't know
Is
her
it
name.
Genevieve?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Genevieve?
Genevieve something. Yeah,
Genevieve?
yeah.
Yeah, she's great. I mean, I like her. The solo stuff I've heard of hers that I've checked out is great, and she just is a great balance to that fucking asshole that Lewis Cole is.
Well, yeah, she tamed him. I
She
mean,
makes him okay. I mean, I can listen
She Eddie Gomez him,
to Eddie Gomez. She Eddie Gomez him. Yeah, I don't know.
or
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
like somehow it works in that thing and it spawns other things,
Man, I
but
don't want to
it's.
think about Eddie Gomez being right for the Humpty Dumpty band, the fucking Chick Corea. So
But I'm telling you,
oh yeah, it's on.
but if Gad didn't get pissed off at it, and the rest of the band, like, what is going on? It might not have happened. I mean, you have to build in the butthole. You have to put the
Yeah.
butthole in the cake
All right, well,
sometimes.
listen, I don't want to run out of time on Eddie Gomez, but the last, I mean, and feel free to, if you need to say more, that's fine. But I do want to say one more thing about him, and that is, or not about him, but the bass player that Bill Evans had before him, I mean, so the Bill Evans trio, phase one had Chuck Israels on bass, and the stuff that I've heard, I mean, he's a white guy, but he's a solid bass player. I mean, he's in tune, covers the low end. I mean, the stuff he plays is not incredible, but I mean, it's way more listenable than that fucking idiot Eddie Gomez and his chorus bass. Um, you have anything to say about Chuck Israels? I mean, he got rid of him. So Bill Evans had Chuck Israels in the first half of the '60s, and then he was like, he heard Eddie Gomez. He's like, oh, I've got to fucking have this guy, and he kept him for like 12 years or something.
Who else did he play with? Chuck Israel.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, he probably just faded out. But I mean, it's okay. So let's go on. Can we move on to the next member of this band,
Your
Jack
show,
DeJohnette?
baby.
Jesus fucking Christ! I mean, I don't like a goddamn thing Jack DeJohnette does, except for that one tune that I've heard. I mean, I haven't heard every single thing he's done, but that one tune, "The Brain" by Chick Corea, was the same year, '68. It sounds fucking hot. And but I mean, what he's playing on this is exactly what I've heard him play every single time, whether it's in the '80s with who's the underwater guitarist?
Yeah, Abercrombie.
No, the other one.
Schofield.
Yeah, Schofield. Yeah, the other underwater guy. Yeah, it's, I mean, with him, everything I know about and my idea of Jack DeJohnette, this is his drumming. It's just fucking terrible. I mean, just like Jesus Christ. I mean,
Okay.
okay. It kind of says something about his ride pattern. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All I want to interject is this, and I just thought of it. In all of those circumstances, Abercrombie, the underwater stuff, Schofield, Eddie Gomez, I just want to label it that this is, I think it's an air problem. Period. It's an air problem. It's
Like
an
they don't
air problem.
lack of oxygen, or what do you mean?
A,
Stale?
a
You think
bunch,
the
a
air is
bunch, a
stale?
bunch. Well,
I like it.
a bunch of things can fit in that category. I mean, it's get your amp out from under the water
Oh, okay,
and
I
in
see.
right and into the air. Go Eddie Gomez, you know, man, there's no air between Eddie Gomez is playing in my ear. It
There's some
just
underwater bass going on there for sure.
that's what I'm saying. It's like it's chorus phase and it's a lack of air. There's
And it's
no
not, again, it's that
oxygen.
kind of music. It's like
Yes, except in your ear. It's in your ear doing this.
yeah,
There's no distance.
this
You know.
thing though. I mean, this is what
Anyway, go ahead.
kills me. Just fucking hearing that constantly. Jesus Christ.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm sorry,
so
but
continue.
about
It's an
Jack
error
DeJohnette. I
problem, but
mean,
yeah, go
so
ahead.
they're all skittering and flittering. It's just like ding, 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 and that's his ride pattern. That's his signature ride pattern to me.
Let's hear it.
That's how I know. It's ding, 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 ding,
Let's hear
ding, 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 ding. It just seems like I imagine like a little girl on a stick horse, just like ding, 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 just like ding, 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 and then it's like this like stupid hi-hat stuff. Then here comes a tom fill.
it. I mean, yeah, okay.
Not
I'm
swinging.
not
It's not
I'm not
swinging.
here.
It's skittering and flittering.
Okay, skittering and flittering, and I mean, I'll add to it. Are they using twigs instead of drumsticks?
Yeah.
Is the question.
Yeah.
I mean, I do ask myself that
Using
because
twigs.
and I don't mean like I don't mean dry ones. You know what I mean? I
What
mean the
twigs?
wet, flexible,
Yeah.
type.
He's fucking playing with twigs. Yeah.
What's the drummer that plays with the twigs for real?
Uh,
We talked about Bob Moses. I want to say maybe Tony Levin. It's Tony Levin, Bob
oh
Moses.
my God. Fucking twigs. Yeah, no, totally, man. I mean, he's just not, I mean, it's, each of them and each one of them, all three of these guys in here are, they're just like taking turns rushing. I mean, it's just,
Your turn to
it's a
rush. Your
shitty,
turn to rush. Yeah, yeah,
it's a
yeah.
shitty dinner jazz trio. Um, but it's like, this is the most influential pianist. He influenced Keith Jarrett. Fuck you, Keith Jarrett. God damn that guy. And I mean,
Do you
um,
remember when I asked you about him? For
yeah,
your opinion, like your.
I
Do you know what
remember
you
that
said?
you asking about that. I don't remember what I said. I mean, it's something negative, I'm sure, but
Yeah, it was just a refusal. It was a refusal. We're
okay.
not going to
Well, yeah, I
not.
mean, I've heard
It's
some
a
things, but and then I just I don't want to run out of time. I just do want to get to Bill Evans though, and then we can just go back and get back into people individually. But man, his fucking block chord, that shit is fatiguing. It's just so ear fatiguing. Like it's I mean, it just reminds me of like a Casio keyboard thing, that the chord setting. You can do like normal on a Casio keyboard. You can do normal, single note or chord, and the chord thing. It's like you press the keys in the piano, and it plays chords. I mean, like as
right.
you
Yeah,
can just like one note will play a chord, and you can just go up and down and stuff like that. That's, I mean, it's like it just seems like parallel motion, ear fatigue. I mean, in certain settings, I don't mind. I like Casio. I mean, I use Casio keyboards a lot. I mean, but I don't really use that function that much anyway. The way he does it, he's just so fucking tight with it, and it's just so ear fatiguing. And it seems like as he's changing chords, he's trying to just eliminate. He's trying to add. He's like seeing how many notes he can keep from the previous chord, and then just add one for the new chord, maybe one or two. So it just seems like the same notes being played, just like boom, 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 boom. I mean, just this clump. It's just like it's just these clumping, it just keeps clumping my
Clump,
ear. And
clump.
you know, who is it? He's like that. Another thing it reminds me of is that country pianist who I actually like, Floyd Kramer. He's like just a Floyd Kramer motherfucker. You know, just you know what I'm talking about, just that country piano style where it's like he had a little, it was a little different, but it was similar in that it was just like it's just like this kind of like chording melodic chording stuff that geez.
As you're, man,
But
I'm glad that you're getting to, rant and get this out. As you do it, I just want to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at the conversation between you and Clint at the time that
there was
that
a
happened.
conversation between
Well,
us.
yeah, but well, I mean,
Oh,
there
did you
was,
record it?
well, I texted with you a little
Oh,
bit, and then I
okay.
called you, from there to have you know, to have the fireworks. Let me see if I can. You can keep
No, no. I
ranting.
mean, I'm just, I don't. This guy is just a piece of shit. I mean, really. I mean, it's like he got lucky. He Miles Davis, whatever. Whatever the fuck. I mean, Miles Davis was mood he was in that he gave this guy a chance and put him on, the number one jazz record of all time. Kind of blue. Man, I mean, he's just so full of shit, and he's lucky that he got a chance, and then fortunately I guess he got the boot pretty quick, and within when was the last year that Bill Evans was with Miles Davis? Like 60?
I
He
don't
was
do
on with him for a
year.
couple years,
I
right?
don't do years. Yeah, but I don't do years. I'm bad at that.
Okay, all right.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
it's we could probably look it up, but I mean, I think that he pretty much just tried to, immediately capitalized on being in the spotlight. He got a space in the spotlight, capitalized on it, had a decent bass player,
Okay,
Chuck Israels, and then dumped him for a piece of shit, Eddie Gomez.
this is what you said. So when I was with Clint and I was like, "Hey man, what do you want to hear?" And he said, "Bill Evans trio in live in Tokyo, up with a lark." Um, and then I sent it to you and it said, "Listen to this." Your response was, "Jesus, chorus bass and monodynamic stale piano licks," which I told Clint immediately that that's what you had to say
Yeah,
about what his song request was.
yeah. He's like a
Um,
Keith Carlett guy. I mean, just that he's that kind of person that just does there's everything's an accent. There's no, it's just a blur.
and you said, "I've been listening to Soothsayer album by Wayne Short or by Shorter. If you're there with Clint, you should play him Lost off that if he hasn't heard it." And I did, and he loved it, but he
Was he
still
familiar
can't.
with it, or was he like, oh yeah, I've
I
heard that a million times, or
I couldn't really tell, and he didn't really respond that way. He was just, I mean, we just listened to it,
yeah.
which, by the way, reminds me of Star Wars.
That's funny. Damn, why'd you have to fucking tell me that? Why did you have to put that in my head?
Well,
Ah,
yeah, I didn't ask for it to be put in my head, but now it's
okay,
in
all
yours.
right.
Anyway, it was a good, it was good. He liked it, but I wish the reason I FaceTimed with you after the Bill Evans Eddie Gomez discussion or during it is because I said to Clint, "Hey man, I mean, he thinks it's just Eddie Gomez sounds like a chorus bass and it's monodynamic bullshit." I just wish you could have seen Clint's face right when I said that. I FaceTimed you after, but he just went
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like,
yeah. What
why
is this
wouldn't
guy talking about? I mean, it's yeah.
who
What are my credentials? You know, you know.
who is this guy? But then when I piped you in and we did FaceTime, it was sweet because it was like, "It's nice to meet you, sir." It's nice to talk to you,
Yeah.
sir. There were all this
Yeah.
sir stuff, but right before that was when I said Eddie Gomez, he hates Eddie Gomez. He goes,
God, man, what has gotten into people? I mean, I just don't understand what. I mean, it's like, do you need something else? I mean, it's like, do you need something so badly that you'll go that direction? Or even with Bill Evans, that you'll just listen to somebody who's playing a melody right here. It's like, and you're, it's like, how can I keep my fingers? Can I just super glue my two index fingers together and just play, or my thumbs, and just stay right here on the keyboard, right in the middle of the keyboard. Just kind of move it up just a little bit, give it that much space.
I know we're about to have to go, but one thing I wanted to say, and I thought of this last night, was like, Oliver was we were getting ready for bed, and like there's this like sweet spot of 15 minutes where Oliver wants to ask me about drum crap. And I told him, I was like, man, I played with my buddy Dave Williams and stuff. And I said my ideas were great, but my hands can't pull it off right now. I just it's just that my hands started folding. And I started talking to him about what might be able to happen to overcome that. And we got into a rudiments, just play rudiments discussion.
Mm.
So we got the practice pads, out and started playing rudiments. And there it was like a five. There were about five rudiments that I've ever really known and tried to play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
mean, it's
I
just,
can't, who can go that far? I mean, who can,
well, I
you know,
mean, I have a degree from a music school, and there's
and
about
you've only
five.
got the
Like,
five. Yeah.
I got five. But I decided to like make it a thing with my kid to, you know, to do it, like you're supposed to do it. No music involved, just math. It's just math. It's math and muscles.
Yeah.
So my point is, I'm going to see if that
Muscles.
works.
Love that. Math and muscles.
Math, I mean, that's what it is. And do the stuff to a click and think about the dynamics and think about the accents, but just do the five rudiments that I know, and just hopefully have that translate into, I can play an idea again. And for the kid, there are only five of them, but if you could play those five and play them well, then it does facilitate some, technical awesomeness.
Yeah.
Possibly. I'm gonna find out because I'm gonna do them every day, and I'm gonna do this stuff like that YouTube will tell you to do, and see if it works.
Yeah.
Man, I
You gonna
really
relate that back to,
appreciate.
were you gonna relate that back to Bill Evans, or were you just saying that?
No, Bill Evans is over. I'm just saying that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I guess we're over too. We got less than a minute.
We
Well,
are
there's
over.
probably more to say, but I guess we'll have to save it for another time, huh?
Man, I really appreciate all of your energy, and
I
so
had it
does
today.
and
I had some today.
and and so does Ray Gomez. Ray Gomez.
On
As you
that
call
note,
him.
see you later, man.
All right, man.